but inanipatia nguvu sana, and that is basically what you have. Hii ni siri yetu, hatutaibiwa kura for sure. Nina siri naye Yesu, yanifanya niwe kwa imani nayo dhiki, yanifanya niwe jasiri, yaniburudisha nikirukaruka, Hosana, amen. Thank you, thank you. Well, only yesterday I was out in Ukambani for reasons that a lot of you must have known. Thank you so much for those who empathized with us because of the family situation we were facing. But when I was coming, I saw that in Kakamega there was a very important meeting, a democratically organized rally of the kind that has not been recently seen in that part of the country. Mainly the young people again carrying our national flags, and we celebrate the spirit. Kabla niingie hapo niseme kwamba PCA is in AIC Church in Kitui. I think that's where Senator Wambua and others come from. But I was, during my days at the university, I used to lead the university worship at St. Andrew's Church. And my spiritual mentor was Reverend Wanjahu, George Wanjahu. Huyo mzee alinisaidia sana, not just me alone, but the entire community of the University of Nairobi. St. Andrew stands very tall and very well regarded. Of course, sometimes unavalia ile kilt, the Scottish kilt. We used to see that, enjoy it now. This is interesting. But now looking at this sanctuary, we say glory to God. You have even gone back in history to biblical times. When I see the Jerusalem stone, then I know your architects are truly, truly magnificent. That Jerusalem stone in Utawala, may God continue to do his marvelous works. And so, just taking it over from where my colleagues have left it, I watched a very senior leader in this country, Jim Orengo, senior counsel, a person I respect. We have been to the trenches together. He's in a position to know, just like I think I am. Kenyans have a lot of unanswered questions about how our late brother, Raila Amolo Odinga, left us. They have a lot of questions. And so, Jim was very categorical. Alisema Raila aliuawa. In order to deal with that lingering issue, na tukiwa mbele ya congregation hii and before the presence of God himself, I would want to suggest power in a thorough inquest so that Kenyans can know the truth. I can tell you that people are fighting for the soul of our late brother Raila Odinga. I was privileged to work with them very closely. Very, very closely. And I may have to write a book like Senator Malala has written a play. Malala likes to write plays, but I think I'll write a book. Because we'll have to place on record for future generations so that Kenyans will live freely in a democratic country. As envisioned under Article, I think, 1 or 2, we have multi-party democracy, Constitution 2010, na urithi wa kamili ambao lituachia mzee Kibaki. And as you know, I was privileged to serve under him. He allowed people to work. Kibaki never taught us to steal from our people. Kibaki slept, the gentleman of Kenyan politics. But what are we seeing today? Look at the papers everywhere. Everywhere. Who is benefiting from all these cartels? We are a country led by cartels. But what the mood is, Mheshimiwa CS Matiang'i, the mood is revolutionary. Kenyans can't even wait. A lot of them have just come from the United States. And people are saying, even this advantage you are giving William Ruto, one term, we are being very generous. The country cannot wait. Kuendelea watoto is not enough. Kwamba jinsis waliuawa. Now we are almost in the month of March. And what William Ruto and Raila had even put in writing, and I have it on authority of Senator Sifuna himself, because Secretary General of ODM, kwamba the 10 points ambazo walielewana, some of which were drawn from the NADCO report, nothing has happened. And even if we were to begin to say, wapeane kazi hii, wa national institution dealing with this matter, which is Kenya National Human Rights Commission, which is what should have been charged with that responsibility in the first place. Now there's no time. They will then begin to say, okay, huyu na huyu haphazardly wapatiwe 100,000, 2 million. How about the businesses which were ruined in the central business district of Nairobi? My friend, you know you have been MCA forever. MCA forever. Kama kuna mtu ajui kupoteza kura, ni huyu rafiki yangu Kados. Kados, right? Yeah, you agree with me, the city center is not a place to do business. It's a place inhabited by police-assisted goons. Wahuni, ambao wamepatiwa mamlaka na serikali ya William Ruto. I will be very careful, Mheshimiwa CS, tukienda huko Kisii kesho, nikubali or not address William Ruto as Mr. President. People are tired. Watu wamechoka. Watu wanataka, this is revolution time, and this revolution itakamilika on or before or during or before 2027, next year. Because that is the mood. That is the mood that Matiang'i was talking about. Kwa hivyo nyinyi wa kanisa, I want to challenge all of us to stand up for Christ. Remember the militant song, stand up for Jesus, ye soldiers of the cross. Lift high his royal banner, it must not suffer. The time is now. I mean, the battle yenyewe imeletwa ndani ya kanisa. And the church, in fact, I would have expected that when we went to visit Inspector General Kanja, the church leadership should have joined us. Dress properly, say we will not accept what happened at Witima, ACK Church. We can't understand what happened in Mwiki. We will not accept it. And to say enough is enough. Lakini tusipofanya hivyo, I want you to know the youth of this nation have decided to take their country back. And if we are not careful, wataichukua na sisi tuwachwe kwa madhabahu na wako kule, because they have the impatience. They have the impatience. And they are concerned about integrity. Even in church, integrity everywhere. And I want to finally suggest, Mother is very clear, and my brother Matiang'i, and I think all of us, tulienda kwa Iebc, tukaketi na wao. After that, Mother wrote a letter on our behalf, which we took to Inspector General of Police. But we have since discovered Inspector General of Police cannot do anything. That fellow needs prayers. Aombewe tu, because his mikono yake imefungwa na miguu na CS for interior. And we have a man of experience in that area. But Iebc tulienda kwao. You know, now, tumekubaliana tuwe na technical team ya sisi, united alternative government. We are not saying we are opposition. We are just waiting to take over the leadership. Kama vijana watatukubalia. Okay? And that is the way we are moving forward. United alternative government. Tukawaambia hivi, we have our team, a technical team, tumepeana majina yetu. Of course they listened, wakamtoa yule Marjan, because that was very clear in our records. And also mathematics is imeleta disrepute internationally. Hata Trump mwenyewe analia juu ya mambo ya mathematics, metoka huko Venezuela. Kumbuka Raila used to talk about viparanga vya computer. We will not agree. Hatuwezi kukubali viparanga hiyo ya computer. And the number one thing, metoa Marjan. Mumeruka watu wawili qualified deputy CEOs. All right? Mukachukua director Court Nguli ambaye tunajua katika petition zetu. That is a person who should not be allowed to take over as a CEO of Iebc. Hiyo tunaangalia. So when we say you will not steal, Fred and my sister there, this is what we mean. There must be open recruitment of the new CEO wa Iebc. Hatutakubali mtu kama anaitwa Sunkuli who was part and parcel of mambo haya mathematics. As a matter of fact, legally, we have hii maneno tumefuata kwa ndani sana. Tumegundua kwamba kuna ile inaitwa framework contract in procurement law. This thing about mathematics was tied to that framework. Iliisha in I think April last year. Kwa hivyo hata uchaguzi legally wa Malava na Mbere and ongoing by elections under mathematics is actually illegal. But we want our people also to have representatives. Kwa hivyo tunavumilia hiyo. Lakini leo hatutavumilia ni kwamba mathematics waendelee na CEO ambaye tunamjua the William Ruto wants to handpick na kumfanya yeye ndiye ata replace Marjan. We will not accept. Kwa hiyo tunaenda tena kwa IEBC. We want to make it very clear tukiwa hapa. Ndio kanisa muombe vizuri, muombe mkijua the issues ambazo zitahakikisha uchaguzi ambao utakuja hivi ndio utakuweko pale uchaguzi huo, because the country is in a revolutionary mood. And this revolution will culminate in what we saw in Bangladesh last week. Vijana Bangladesh, Prime Minister mwenye akachukua helicopter akahamia India because he brought the wrong type of policy of funding university education in Bangladesh. Akatarokea huko. Aitwa Sheikh Hasina. Sasa wakamchukua wa Bangladesh, jeshi kwanza ikachukua Bangladesh, na very, very disciplined army, because they actually very well known even in Bangladesh army is very well regarded. Lorette akashikilia. The outcome was over 70%. Gen Z inspired Gen Zs of Bangladesh, inspired by Gen Zs of Kenya, wameleta mapinduzi. That is the mood, not just in Africa, but in the whole world. So, kwa maoni yangu nikamilishe, ndio tuendelee, we should have no worry at all. This is a nation under God. And this is a nation that will stand for the truth all the time. So even us, in alternative, united alternative government, as we serve our people, we must be different. We must really know what is ailing them. Na sisi wenyewe tutajitahidi tuone vile tunaweza kusaidiana. So I have no doubt when William Ruto says atashinda kura by 2 million. Hey, yani hebu angalia vile tulivyo. Because also it's an attempt to pre-rig, kuweka kwatu kwa hii maneno tutaenda Singapore, tutaenda wapi? Oburu ananichekesha anasema tutaenda Kenyan kupitia Singapore. Because you remember his brother was saying tutaenda Kenyan. Tukafika mto Jordan, tukaumwa wengine na samaki na kulikuwa crocodile wengi. Hatukuvuka, ndio what time Raila akasema anatafuta wafanye building bridges na ndugu yake Uhuru Kenyatta. Sasa wameleta mambo mengine haijulikani. The truth of the matter, if I knew my brother Raila's heart, it was not for this thing. Hawa watu wanajiita ma-expert, walikimbia kule wakateka Raila nyara, and that is the truth. And you Senator Kitui and Senator Sifuna know what we ordered both you and Sifuna tukiwa na Raila on what you should do.